What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Get Paid for Your Pad. And today we have one of the favorites back on the show, Mr. Steven Suárez, with his business partner, Federico. What's up, guys? Good to see you guys again.
Oh, I like your Spanish accent, man. Federico.
Yo hablo muy bien español. Yo vivo en Panamá, amigo.
Perfecto.
Oh, yeah. Qué bueno.
True.
Oh, yeah, we're doing good, man. How you been?
It's been a crazy year, 2021. You and I spoke last in December 2020. We did an episode together, learning lessons from 2020 for short-term rental hosts. And I was just looking through the show notes, and it says here, Steven's aspirations for Argest, which is your management company, in 2021, grow portfolio to 50 units. So I want to know, man, like how many you got? You're at 50 yet?
We're almost there. We're like around 43, 44 units right now.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's incredible, man.
If you count some crappy ones that we had to let go, then we probably would be at over 50, but we let some crappy ones go. But anyways, it happens.
That's awesome, man. Well, congratulations. I mean, I remember last time I was talking to you back then in 2020, you were doing you had a couple master leases, couple management, maybe like 10, 15 in total. And we talked about, some strategies and stuff, and give us an update. What's happening? And by the way, if you're listening and you're wondering who the hell is Steven, he is the host of the Live, Let Thrive podcast. So I've been on his podcast a couple times. He's been on mine. He's here with his business partner, Federico, who's in Argentina. Exactly. Which is awesome. I love Argentina. The wine is awesome. The steak is awesome, and it's cheap.
It is really cheap right now. Anyone who's looking to, digital nomads, and working from the computer, get down here. It's the best time to be here.
Was it like 2,000 pesos to the dollar now?
200. Here's a crazy thing. We have two rate of exchanges. So if you go to a bank, they're gonna give you 100 pesos for a dollar. But if you go to a street, you get 200 pesos to a dollar. So actually, like 2 days ago, I was in a restaurant. I had an American sitting next to me, and he was paying, and he was like, "Where's gonna get cash?" It's like, "How much are you paying for that?" It's like, no. You need to go to Florida Street, the most famous street here, and they're gonna offer you to exchange money, and you're gonna get double. So yeah, you get value for your buck here.
Awesome, man. I it's been a while since I was in Buenos Aires, but good memories there. But yeah, let's dive into it. Like, I want to hear what happened in 2021. You guys went from like 15 to almost 50 units.
Yeah. I'll tell a little backstory. How, me and Federico, I don't know if I told a little bit about it, but we both worked at a major airline, right? And we met there through the company's intranet, started doing some travel pages together, became friends over the years. He saw how I was doing some Airbnbs, and then we decided to become partners. And from there, Federico's strong customer service background, right? And so he took it to like a next level, and he's really good at all the, spreadsheets and automation and stuff like that. So I saw, right away we started seeing big growth. And yeah, I guess when I talked to you last, it was around 10 or 15 units, and we were buying a timeshare, which is another thing that we like to do. And so we got a timeshare up and running, and which is cool because we arbitrage timeshares throughout the country. And so I would say, after we spoke with you, we got a couple more under management, and then friend of a friend. A lot of it happens. Friend advises another friend, and then we get some manage their units too. So I guess right around the middle of the year, we were stuck at 20 for a while, right, Federico?
Yeah, we were stuck at 20, and then more units, show up, and again, there's a lot of people that were setting up their first unit and needed management. And we have a lot of people that are looking for properties as well. And we have like a queue of people that are like, okay, let us know for any deal. But for now, it's been growing with people who are setting up their first unit or have one or two and just needed someone to take care of them. Plus, we did set up a few arbitrages ourselves as well. We got a few more.
Yeah, right. I know you told us to choose one or the other, but Federico loves the money from the arbitrages, so we're kind of still double dipping a little bit.
All right, right on. Yeah, just don't listen to me, man. Do whatever.
No, man, I want to listen. You have great advice, great advice. So we got, it's funny, and you teach in y'all's classes and stuff, and I'm sure that you talk to students all the time that hit that plateau, right? It's around the hectic host mark, and they can't grow anymore because there's too many things going on that they're trying to put out, too many fires trying to put out. That's the point we were at, and actually we paused a little bit. We bought our first property, within the business, and opportunity showed up. A dude from work he was a tired landlord. Some his previous tenants took advantage of the COVID situation, didn't pay for 6 months, kind of deal. So we got a pretty good price on it. So we used our profits to buy it, and that's a long-term rental. And what happened? We started getting the company, running a little bit more smooth. Added some VAs because Fede was going crazy. He was working 24 hours a day almost, and he wasn't sleeping. And plus, he still had the job at the airline, and which January 1st he was able to finally quit. But I told him we brought in VAs before that, and I told him you're not going to quit and then just dive into this and stay up 24 hours doing this. You're not. This isn't your job. You're an owner. And there's a difference. So we struggled with a few VAs until we finally, bit the bullet and paid a little bit more money and got some Airbnb VAs, that's a big tip I'll give. Get VAs that have Airbnb experience. Don't, it's easier. It's because you could just plug them in and then you just teach them your systems instead of having to teach them from day one what Airbnb is and how to use it and how to use the PMS and all this and all the systems that go with it. So get some really good VAs, interview a bunch of them, which is what we did, and we have a strong team now. So we were able to grow from that 20 and get over the 40 mark within like a month.
Wow, that's awesome, dude. That's awesome. Where did you find your VAs?
Federico?
And that's fun because it was a little lesson that we had to learn, right? So we're posting first BA positions, and that's where it didn't work very well. And then we went to Upwork. It was Steven's idea. At some point, we were really frustrated, and he was like, "You know what? Let's jump into it. Let's not push it any longer." He went to Upwork and searched for Airbnb and started messaging a lot of people, messaging. But if you look at Upwork, the hourly rate they put over there is really pricey, but it's not really what you can agree with them. So if you set up an interview or offer a job in Upwork, you can talk and say, okay, we're not looking for a short project. We're looking for something more, like a contract and something for a long time. And that way you can negotiate a price, which is again, because in Upwork, people are putting their hourly rate for small projects. So going there and looking at people who know what the business goes about, it was way better because we found 3 amazing girls from different countries. We have Serbia, Armenia, and the Philippines, and covering all schedules. And we have one that's going to be the operations manager that we can rely on her. That it was the first time in over a year that I could put my phone down and just get a few things done in my house. I had painting some furniture, so that felt really nice.
Nice, dude. Like, did you guys have to do a lot of interviews on Upwork? Because in my experience, Upwork is kind of, it's kind of finding a needle in a haystack, or there's thousands of people in there. Was it easy to find those VAs?
Using the keyword Airbnb, it narrowed it down a lot. And then I think we interviewed around 15 people. And first we chat a little bit to see what they were offering. And from there, we narrowed it down to 3 amazing girls. So I think it was very successful.
Sweet.
What's cool is they put so much, so much stuff that they have experience in, which systems, the PMS systems, the Airbnb, VRBO booking, they write it all down, and we're looking at these impressive resumes, right? And so we can narrow it down just by looking at all their resumes and to get like there's a bunch of Airbnb VAs now, but we narrowed it down from like 50 down to that 15, and we're able to interview them, and of course, even just sending out the messages on Upwork and seeing how fast it takes them to respond to the messages, that narrows it down too for us. So
how they respond.
Yes,
because that's the other thing that we discussed a lot with Steve. My career in the airline was 10 years from those, I did 9 years of training customer service. So I was training customer service agents around the world, opening offices, training large new hires, different desks. So I do have experience bringing people fresh from the street. They don't know the business and teaching the business. But also what we found is that the people that we hire were, they're bringing new ideas. They're helping to fine tune the systems that we have. They bring ideas from previous management companies to work with, and that is also helping us grow a lot because we come across new things, new scenarios where now getting houses, which we're doing mostly apartments, and our experience with houses is not the same. And they have these amazing ideas because some of them work with houses in California, in Florida, in many places, which is helping us a lot. So.
And you live in Argentina, Steven. I know you're in Texas, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you guys are like on the other side of the world. So how do you work like a partnership when you're on different sides of the world?
Well, we're on WhatsApp all day. You use WhatsApp too.
I do, yeah.
Jasper. Yeah, it's like so we have all these WhatsApp chats going on. And so we do keep track of things there. It's a partnership, man. And you're used to, I mean, sometimes you're long distance from your partner and sometimes you're close by. I mean, I couldn't imagine working right next to Federico. We'd probably kill each other, but maybe the distance does help out sometimes. And and like I said, we can just hop on a Zoom call if something's getting like really serious. We can hop on a Zoom call because text messages can be misconstrued, and if we have a real issue, we can hop on a Zoom, and we could talk it out and see the best strategy. It always seems like that, when everything seems crazy, if we just stop everything and hop on a Zoom call and just talk things through, it always seems like we come up with a solution, right? It's magical, just face to face, chatting like that. And so we try to do that at least once a week, and we'll do WhatsApp, video calls sometimes too. But it's just keeping the communication going, and yeah, well, I mean, arguments will happen, but we can't hold a grudge, and we got to keep moving forward. And I'll show him the profits, and he'll be happy again.
and you guys are your properties are all in Texas?
Mostly. We got most of them are in Dallas. We have some in Fort Worth. We have 2 in Houston, another one coming up soon, and then we have one in Grand Rapids, Michigan, of all places. So that was a friend of a friend deal.
It was like the odd one out.
Yeah, but it's who'd have thought Grand Rapids is really kicking ass.
Yeah.
To say that.
And you're using smart locks on all your units, so you can just send out codes.
August locks, correct.
Yeah. August locks, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, technology. Nice. If it wasn't for technology, we would not be able to do this. I think because I get to travel there. I visit in Texas often. Right now, it's gonna be a while until I get to go there again. But technology and the power of no code, which are all these apps that you can kind of create your own systems and programs like Notion, Jot forms. All of those are helping us to run the business, even though 50% of the business is abroad. Because I mean, Steven, even if he's in Texas, he can go to, if something happens to one of the properties in Dallas or in Fort Worth, which are close. But if something happens in Grand Rapids, something happens in Houston, we need to rely on our teams over there. So that's something that we had to learn as well.
Yeah. Ring doorbell cameras too, very important.
Ring doorbell.
Yeah. What is when you go from like around 15 to 50, that's a big step. What is the biggest new challenge that you're facing at that new level?
Fede?
There are many challenges. Because I'll say that when you have 15 units, you know what's going on in every unit. Up to 10, 15 units, you know exactly. And I can remember, I know there's someone checking in here, someone checking out here. Oh, we need to buy this here. And you can kind of do things at the top of your head. But when you grow at that point, if you don't implement systems where you can keep track of what's going on in each property, you're going to drop the ball very often. So that's goes back again to using. So I set up. I don't know if you're familiar with Notion, the app, but I have my dashboard and all the information on the company, policies and procedures, how to deal with everything that happens, the SOPs, information about each property, the property DNA files I have, maintenance files. So all of that is connected to a main dashboard where anyone can open that and see what's urgent and going on. So that's one of the things that we use. And the other thing that we're using is in job forms, I created a form for every cleaner to fill out that they need to take pictures from their phone. They cannot upload like old pictures or anything. It has to be taken from the form. Where after each cleaning, they're gonna take, well, they need to take pictures, of course, when they arrive. There's a big sign: if you find anything broken or missing, please text me now. And then pictures of everything, supplies. They need to let us know how you're doing on supplies. Rate the guests that checked out. I think that's the way we can keep the operation going, without a lot of headaches.
I will say one
Systems.
thing. Oh, yes, I will say one thing, Jasper. It seems a lot easier approaching 50 than it was at 15 because we have great VAs working for us now. Back then, it's 15 units. Me and Federico can handle that ourselves, right? And we'll drive, going crazy trying to even 15 units, even 5 units could drive you crazy. So, but then when we got to around 20, that's when we started experimenting with VAs. And I remember you just sent out an email the other day, like about back in your first Airbnb in Amsterdam, about you're like, oh, okay, I don't want to answer messages at 2 a.m. anymore, so I'm going to hire a VA. But it ended up being double work for you, right? Because you had the VA is like, well, how do I answer this question? How do I answer? Not only are you answering the question, you're teaching that, you're trying to teach them every single time something comes up, until you finally sat down and made created the systems for every single question that came up. But that's where we were at, right around 20. That's where we were plateauing for so long, because we brought in VAs, but they weren't even Airbnb VAs. We tried to go cheap for like $4 an hour VAs that didn't know, that said that they do customer service or whatever. And so it was just double work for us, right? Answering them and answering the guests at the same time. So right around that middle point, it was actually harder than it is now. We have more units, like I said, approaching 50 units, but we have excellent VAs that are making it super easy for us.
Yeah.
So it works in reverse.
And what's also great is that now you have enough income coming in, so you can hire multiple VAs, so they can cover probably like 24 hours, right? Because when I remember when I had my first VA, I was like, at first I was like, oh great, now I don't have to do anything. But now your VA, she also has to sleep, right? And then it's like, oh, okay, I still have to cover her when she's sleeping. Plus, like you said, like, in the beginning I was getting so many questions, but yeah, that's the beauty if you have like, probably like 4 VAs, and you could probably cover like 24 hours, seven days a week. Is that, are you guys at that stage, like 24-hour customer service?
We're 24 hours. And what's pretty cool about the team that we built is that we came to an arrangement where there are certain hours where they're working on the computer, full focus on the company, working in different tasks that we assign, checking the cameras, checking pricing, checking all of the things that they need to take a look at. But there are certain hours where they can, just go outside, do whatever they need to do, as long as they're checking the messages.
Yeah,
That way
that's a
they
good
are
point.
working, and they're working more than 8 hours, some of them, but they can cover, that time. So that way, with 3 people, we get to cover 24/7, which
Yeah,
is not very easy, to find. Maybe for agents, it will be the ideal number to cover 24/7 if you don't get this arrangement.
yeah, that makes sense.
What's cool, man, and I don't know if you noticed it, because I mean, before, like even before you had your VA, did you ever have employees? Did you ever have a business and have employees?
No.
It's fun to watch, because like when you finally get good employees, I mean, it's a world of difference. But like the other day, like the girls, 2 of the VAs were, but they're on different shifts, but so they overlap a little, and they give each other the lowdown on what happened the previous, shift. and they were communicating with each other like on how to solve this one issue. Me and Federico weren't even involved in it, but they were like, yeah, okay, that's a great idea. Okay, let's try that. And I was like, and I told Federico, the machines are communicating with each other. You know, like the
That's
AI
when
is taking over. It was a trip, man.
Yeah,
that's
it was
awesome. And
great.
that's when the business starts working for you instead
Right,
of the other way
right.
Exactly.
around.
It's so now we business structure. I mean, we've got employees in place, but as Fede was saying, he's gonna make one of them like the lead. And then so that's where, I mean, that's where really we're putting on our business owner pants. You know, how do we how do we structure the business where it runs
Yeah.
smoothly? Even, and I told him, dude, because he's going on vacation for the first time in like a long, like a year or two, I don't know, long time. First time he's gonna go on a vacation without, you
Yeah.
know, without running the business at the same time. And I'm actually going to Mexico for this that same week. It just be a big coincidence. And I said, dude, we should just leave the countries and turn off our phones. And he's like, he goes, don't even joke like that. And I was like, no, no, actually, as I have joking, that's what we want to get to. We want to get to where we can do that, and the business runs itself even better, you know, because we're gonna hire people that are smarter than us, which isn't too hard. And so that's what I want to get to, that point where we could just turn off
Yeah.
our phones and go out of town for a week or 2 weeks and come back and it's running smooth, or even better than when we're running it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
goal.
That's
So sign up at Jasper's class and you'll find out how to do that.
Yeah.
well, I mean, you do the opposite of what I tell you to do. So I don't know.
And yeah, that's the key. That's the key. Don't listen to Jasper, anybody.
But yeah, no, that's cool, man. Like, you know, being able to take a holiday, that's also like a stress test almost. It's like, all right, let's just both go on a holiday, and then sure, maybe something will go wrong, but that at least that will uncover the, you know, the places where you still have some work to do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that happened to me, at least, is that after leaving the company I worked for 10 years, what I built a career where I would say it was a very good career. I got to, you know, being awarded with company or important awards. I got to meet the CEO, travel to the States multiple times, travel around the world. I was going, you know, I was spending, I put 1,000,000 miles in those 10 years flying. So jumping off that job, it was scary, you know, and now relying everything in this company that we built is like, I don't want anything to go wrong because this is my baby and this is my livelihood now. I mean, when it started, it was, you know, my hustle, but right now it's my livelihood and my future. So, you know, letting go a little bit and let them make mistakes, that's the other part that is it's a huge challenge, but you need to
Yeah.
let it happen. That's the only way you grow and you learn. Right?
Yeah. 100%. I mean, you can't build a business if without something going wrong, right? That's just part of the experience.
That's how you learn. Yeah, Federico's dream is to start an Airbnb in Chernobyl.
In Chernobyl.
Yeah, he mocks me because I used to travel to those places.
He's been to Chernobyl, man.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's
Had the
crazy.
little Geiger, what is it called? The Geiger reader or whatever.
Did you grow an
Yeah.
extra nose after that?
Yeah, I had an extra leg here. That's fun. And yeah, that's the other thing why we started the company, right? It was funny. I got to sleep in like all sort of places, nice hotels from, you know, for work, you know, Airbnbs all around the place. I slept in, you know, airport in floors in the hotel capsules in Japan. I tried it all. And I always like hospitality and this business. And like when I saw Steven struggling with the units he had, he talked about that in the episode when he was in 2020. I was like, man, we can do something way better. We can offer a nice product, and that's something that I think is what we want to offer to every client that we have. It's like when we have a call with a potential client, we say, okay, we're going to offer two things. We're going to offer a 5-star experience for your guests, and we're going to offer you peace of mind because we know how important that is, and we know how much effort and love you put into setting up each Airbnb. Because the same thing, you know, the same way this company is our baby, for each owner setting up an arbitrage or the house, whatever it is their baby, and everyone has a special love and care. So we want to let them know we know that, and we want to care on their properties.
So what's the secret here? What's the number one learning lesson in adding so many units in 1 year time? Because it sounds kind of crazy going from 15 to almost 50 in just a year. I mean, that's like how many? That's like 35 units. That's like free. That's like 3 units a month. Like, how do you find so many units so quickly?
It's been mostly word of mouth. It's been like our friend Sarah Don Glidewell. Shout out to Sarah. She came on our show, Live Let Thrive, a while back, a couple of years ago, a few years ago, and she's a designer, right? And so she designed, my first arbitrages, and then she luckily we can thank the fact that a previous bad management company. Well, I'm not going to name any names, but a previous bad experience with a management company, and people saw how me and Federico, I have experience running Airbnbs before this, and houses and stuff, and then me and Federico started our partnership, and we were doing pretty good with our units, and then just she asked us if we can manage for her. And so we managed for her, and then she has like a kind of a social media following, so people would ask her who manages for her, and then say she's sent people our way. And then what what really exploded is when she started doing TikToks. And so
Mm.
and so she got a huge following on TikToks, and then those clients were sent our way too. And that's how we ended up with one in Grand Rapids, Michigan, of all places, and probably another one coming soon there. But it's just been, it's been word of mouth, and word of mouth is pretty strong. I know we're supposed to pound the pavement and go to the social medias and stuff like that, but I tell you, like, after, like, we've chatted, I barely touch social media. I
Yeah.
never hardly ever get on it, maybe once a day,
Mm.
just to answer someone's message that comes in.
Yeah.
But I think, it's possible without social media, and maybe we'll get a VA that's going to be our social media expert and get us out there and stuff like that. But there's like it's funny because you go to the Facebook forums and stuff like that on Airbnb, and then someone will say, "Hey, I'm looking for management," and they get like 100 messages. Hey, we could do management. So and so does me. How do they know who's going to be a good management company? They're going to trust their best friend, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
and
that's how we've been growing.
that's what happened, because I mean, our clients is like, hey, my friend is trying to start an Airbnb. Do you have any new properties coming in, or any building where they can get started? So, and I think that's also because we're doing a good job. So of course, if you're doing a good job and you're providing returns to your clients, and again, they're having peace of mind when they go to sleep, they know they are not gonna have to leave their phone, uh, you know, on volume to get any call at 3 a.m. because something's going on. Those kind of things we can tell they're really value. When something goes wrong, we tell them. We were very transparent, and we always tell them, if you ever need to have a call, if you ever have a question, if you want to discuss how we're doing, how's performing, we're always open. And I'll say, yeah, I mean, every time, it's funny, every time that we're feeling down because a few things went wrong, when we have some issues, and then we have any call with one of the clients, then we feel really excited, and we feel very good about ourselves because they're very happy. And at the end of the day, that's what it is.
Well, something else is cool about new clients, and I know you've seen it. You've seen like a million of these examples, but you get a new client, they get their first Airbnb, they're excited as heck, right? And then they're like, every message that comes in, "Hey, did you see that message? Hey, did you? How are you going to respond to that? Hey, should we raise the prices? Should we lower the price?" They're like, the first few weeks is like, you just got to bear with it, because they're gonna lose interest and go do something else, and then let you run it, right? But at those first few weeks, you got to kind of nurture them a little bit, and then just pet them. It's gonna be okay. It's all right. They cancel. Yeah, that's cancellations
Yeah.
happen. Don't worry. And then but they need that. They need that, right? It's a new thing for them. We lose track by hosting thousands of stays. You lose track of that. And but when someone new, they're looking at everything through new eyes. You gotta keep that in consideration, and be
Yeah.
nice and respond to them, and then don't just, oh, those are freaking annoying. I love you, clients, if you're listening to this, but yeah, I'm just saying, we pay for these systems and these tools and these pricing tools and all this stuff to get everything perfect.
Mm.
So we know what we're doing. We're super hosts. We make profit. Trust us. But we understand that at first, this is your baby. This is the only one you've ever had, your first one, and
And we
you have
explain
to take
why
good
we do the
about it.
things that we do, right? If they, they ask, why do we have this picture? Why do you put this or this way, or the minimum stay, whatever it is? We try to explain the reason why behind the decisions we take, and that helps them a lot. And that's how after 3 weeks they stop asking is because they understand, they get to understand what we're doing and that we know why we're doing things. And the other thing that is very common when you get a new client, and we talk about that a lot with Steve, is expectations they have. Because they're setting up their first Airbnb. It's like, yeah, so I'm thinking about profiting $2,000 the first month. It's like, and that way I'm gonna recover my. And again, it's like they come with these expectations because they see what's going on in social media, and they see people posting the profits in social media. But of course, it takes time to build that. So that also, leveraging with those expectations to be realistic. That I think that's very important.
100%. So, Stephen, question for you: you still have your job?
As far as right now, I do. I'm tightening up some loose ends and stuff like that. September 27th is my target date to finally quit. I've been there over 23 years.
Wow.
September 27th. You heard it here first on Get Paid for Your Pad.
You sure? I mean, does your employer know this already, or?
Well, if they're listening, they do. No. Not quite yet. I hear some people burn all their like saved up sick days before they leave. That would be crazy. I couldn't do that.
So wait. So you have a full-time job. You are now close to 50 units, and you also you have kids as well, right?
Wife and kids, yeah.
Yeah. Like, when do you sleep?
And that's what brought me to this decision to leave. Because yes, I could run the business a little bit at work, and then after work, go see what we need to do, or go help with setups on new units, stuff like that, or deal with some things that is going on. But I told Federico, I'm like, this isn't fair to have two jobs, especially I have a wife and two little kids, at the house, and I said I got to make a decision, and I want to be able to put 100% into Argest, right? Of my 100% and undeterred without any distractions. And so that's what I said. I mean, the job ain't bad, whatever. It has some perks, but it's holding me back from putting it, going all in on Argest. And I mean, and of course, going all in on Argest doesn't mean working 24 hours a day at Argest either. We're going to have some limits of time that we're going to do certain things, but the deep work, it's always great when you get some good deep work in. 1 hour of deep work is worth like 12 hours of, distracted work. But so that's what kind of that was it. My family, I was like, I just can't do two jobs anymore. And so September 27th, maybe earlier, but it's the day before my birthday. So I want to say I retired. I retired at 44, not 45. So one day before. So there.
Nice. Yeah. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. We're about the same age. I'm turning 35 this year too.
Oh, cool. What's your birthday?
Yeah, July 3rd.
July 3rd. Nice.
That's right.
Cool. Big party, huh?
Hopefully.
So how do you and Eric do it, man? You all are remote together.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think we've learned how to be productive, and it's no longer just me and Eric, right? We now have I don't know, some of our team meetings, sometimes we have 6, 7, 8 people, depending if everybody can make it to the meeting. But I think we have like 9 or 10 people working for us. So it used to be just me and Eric, and now, the team is expanded, which is awesome. But still, like, I have applied for a work visa in the US, because it's just like being in the same room. Like, I feel like you just get the communication is just so much easier, right? Also, like, I don't really want to be on Zoom calls all day. I don't know about you guys, but I could do like, an hour or two on Zoom or something, but I just don't want to spend all my time in front of the computer. And when I was in California and I spent 3 months there in February, March, and April. That was 2021. Eric and I were building Legends X, and we couldn't have built that program if we were on Zoom, for sure. Because there was so much brainstorming, so much mapping out on whiteboards and just walking around and trying to figure things out, and so many questions that we had to answer. So I think, I think it's possible, it's possible to run a business on Zoom and being virtual, but I think it really helps to be in the same space sometimes, at least like a few months a year, or every now and then. Yeah, I think that really helps.
Nice. Yeah, Federico's on his way over here too. He's already put in for his visa, so he'll
Oh,
be here
nice.
soon. He'll be here
What
soon.
which
Yeah.
visa are you getting?
So it turns out my wife is American, so
Oh,
I'm getting the
that's cheating. Come on.
I know, man. So it's funny. It's like her mother grew up in California, so she's Argentinian, but she has the passport. So we got married in 2019. Was it, Steve? You came down here for the wedding.
Mhm.
And yeah, we applied for the visa I'll say that exactly a year ago. But man, they have a backlog. So if you're gonna apply now because it's taking a lot of time. I mean, the other day I spoke with the attorney. They have like 2 million cases right now. It's a lot, and it's taking a lot. So I mean, I am hoping to get to be there this year, in the next few months. But yeah, we're waiting.
But wait, if you get married, you can just go over. You don't. Do you still need a visa? Or?
No, no, it's not that simple. You need to apply for. Yeah, it's different things. We got married here in Argentina, right?
Okay.
If she will be there, I'll still have to apply for this visa and go there, or you can apply for the fiance visa and then go and get married. They'll take time. The only thing is that we want to be together, right? We don't want to be apart. We don't want her to go there and wait for me until it gets done, because again, it takes time. So yeah, it's patience.
All right. Well, let's hope that we both make it out there. We should all meet up in good old Texas and have like a few pounds of brisket.
Definitely.
Beers and brisket. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Awesome, guys. Well, it's fun to have you guys back on the show, and let's do this again. A year from now, you guys will probably be at like 200 by then.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, big time. What advice you got for us, Jasper?
Mastermind.
Mastermind is huge.
When are you guys joining our mastermind?
Oh yeah, soon. Whenever the next one is. Yeah,
we're kicking off live events this year, man. Like you gotta be there, be square.
Yeah. It's funny because like when you were doing just for the group that was in the Facebook group, you're doing the weekly meetings, right? And then Federico hopped on that one, and it was the most boring one ever. It was about what is it called? Typecasting. Copywriting. I'm sorry.
Right,
I'm saying it boring. I'm being lovingly. It was so boring, right? Because you're talking about how to position the paragraphs in a letter that you're writing, in an email that you're writing. But it was the most freaking useful thing, man. I've used that for everything, and that was just one video.
And in that one, you mentioned the size of the Airbnb picture for Canva, and I've been using that since then. So those tips, it's so simple. Tips are so helpful to run the company efficiently. To have to make sure the SEO for your listing is working. So yeah, it works.
And the best lessons are the boring lessons.
Yeah, and then see, people from Amsterdam, they're not boring. They just talk like that. I'll tell you. I'll tell you my Amsterdam story. I went with some buddies like everything's 5 years ago now when you get in your 40s. It was about more like 10 years ago. We went to the Heineken factory, right?
Right on.
And so is it Heineken? Yeah, Heineken. Best beer I ever had in my life was there in Amsterdam, fresh Heineken from the tap. Anyways, we did the tour, and the dude has such the dry sense of humor. I guess you'll have a real dry just and so he was cracking jokes, but they were so funny. And at the end, I guess you go through the before you get to the gift shop, you can like design a beer, and then it'll write it on the Heineken for you. At the gift shop, you pick it up and pay for it. And so my buddy told me to get him a beer over there, a Heineken beer with something written on it, and it was Long Rod von Hugendong. And so at the gift shop, Long Rod von Hugendong. Anyway,
no idea what that means.
Well, the fans they might know. Anyways, the guy at the gift shop, he sees thousands of these a day, right? So he sees it and he just goes, "Wow, that is the funniest thing I've ever seen." And he just hands us the beer, just so dry, right? Just not. Anyways, I'll explain it to you
Oh,
after the
man,
show,
you,
man.
you
Or
gotta you,
Ask Eric what I'm talking about.
you gotta send me a picture of the thing so I can read it. 'Cause I don't understand what you're talking about.
Oh no.
All right, let the censors sort it out.
Guys, let the listeners know where they can find you, because I'm sure a lot of people are listening and they want to know what you guys are up to. They want to check out your site. They want to maybe stay at your units, or they want you to manage their houses. How do people find you?
ArgestRentals.com, ARGEST rentals.com. And it's how we
Facebook,
came up with that word.
Instagram.
Yeah, how we came up with that word. Argest is the first three letters in Argentina, and then EST represents Estados Unidos, which is the Spanish saying of United States. So we combined Argest, combined it together. ArgestRentals.com, ArgestRentals@gmail.com. What else, Fede?
Our
Facebook
customer
is
service at argestrentals.com. You need to remember we have our own branded
the
email.
professional email. Yes.
Yeah, that's important. But yeah, we're on Instagram, Facebook. So whatever you need us, we're gonna be there.
Yeah, call us, man. We're fun guys. We like to hang out. We'll chat with you, and we'll see if we can do something for you.
Awesome, sweet guys. Well, thanks so much for jumping on here. Always good to chat. Are you still running the podcast as well, Steven?
Yes, sir. Still doing the podcast. Still
Awesome.
doing. We got 192 episodes already, so we're catching up to y'all.
Catching up. Yeah, I'm almost at 500, but
Not Brad. Yeah, you're doing like 3 a week now. Wait till I quit, man. I'm gonna do one every single day.
That'd be fun. That'd be fun. I'll up my game as well. Let's push each other a little bit. Let's see how many
friendly
episodes
competition. Yeah,
that's right.
all
That's
right.
All right, Steven.
Awesome.
Federico.
Thanks, Jasper.
Thank you so much.
Jasper.
Muchas gracias, amigos.
Thank you.
And we'll have you guys back soon, I'm sure. And to the listeners, thank you for listening. Hope you enjoyed this special podcast with 2 special guests. And Eric and I will be back on Friday with another episode of Get Paid for Your Pad. Until then.